This is the matter of TP. We're here today for a permanency planning hearing and a review hearing in this matter.
Ms. Rinaldi, you work for Bethany Christian Services, correct?
Correct.
And you are the foster care case manager for this case, correct?
Correct.
How long have you been in that capacity?
I've been the case manager for this case since February 18 of 2024.
Very good. And you prepared and/or reviewed and submitted several reports for today's hearing, correct?
Correct.
All right, Your Honor, I have 4 proposed exhibits. I can run through all 4 if that would please the court.
That would be fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Proposed exhibit 1 is a case service plan, updated service plan with attached treatment plan. Those are dated February 20, 2025. Proposed exhibit 2 is a court addendum, and that is dated April 15, 2025. Proposed exhibit 3 is a parenting time specialist quarterly report dated April 28, 2025. And proposed exhibit 4 is a CASA report dated April 21, 2025.
Any objections?
No objection.
No, Your Honor.
All right, they're all admitted.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. All right, Ms. Rinaldi, let's update the court and all attorneys with respect to TP. How is he doing?
TP is doing well. He continues to just overall do well in the home with his current caregiver. He is still attending ABA Monday through Friday, and he was attending early childhood center from Monday through Thursday. However, last week on the 24th, TP did test out of that programming due to his improvement in his speech. So currently he is only doing ABA during the week and counseling once a week.
Okay, and how does the ABA and the counseling differ?
So ABA is working more on his developmental, while the therapy is working more on just being able to help TP process his emotions, kind of that social emotional level, as well as kind of working through his trauma history.
Excellent. He was to be assessed for or reassessed for an IEP, I believe, on April 24th. Did that happen?
Yes, and that was where he tested out of that early childhood center.
Okay. So where is he in school at the moment?
He only attends ABA Monday through Friday in the morning. That is his only school currently.
What is the plan for the summer?
I'm not 100% sure. I can definitely check with his caregiver to see if there is a plan and what the plans are for next year.
Okay. I believe that the CASA indicated that there could be some concern about changing classes or changing school in the future. Is that for potentially the summer or is that for next year? Do you know?
It would be for next year. Just from my recollection, I do remember his caregiver stating that he is enrolled for next year and it is a different school.
Okay. But as of right now, he's doing well in school / ABA, correct?
Correct.
All right. Is he up to date on all medical and dental appointments?
Yes.
All right. And I think you mentioned this, but he's still with his grandmother, Ms. Wu, correct?
Correct.
All right. Is there anything with respect to ABA or his individual counseling that you want to touch on?
The only thing I would touch on is just I am working on completing a trauma assessment for him for TP, a referral, just as his counselor did note that he would appreciate just a more in-depth understanding of TP's trauma history and how he can best support TP during multiple transitions.
Okay. And is that due to something that occurred recently?
Yes, it has to do with TP's recent behaviors. There has been some concerns with TP. The most recent one was with his brother, where he did try to stick his finger up his brother's butt and was willing and okay for his brother to do the same to him. So there's just been concerns with just TP's trauma history and what that history entails.
Okay. Did he actually try to do it or did he request it? I guess I'm a little confused as to what happened, if you know.
It sounds like he requested it and said he was fine with it, but it does not sound like it actually occurred. It just was a request.
Okay. Have you been told anything about him pulling his pants down in front of other people too, or was that part of the same incident?
I believe that was part of the same incident as well.
Okay. Do you know where that occurred?
This occurred in his caregiver's home.
All right. Have there been any such occurrences or any such activity outside of the home that you're aware of?
Not to my knowledge of outside the home.
Okay. And he has no negative reports of any type of similar behavior at ABA or therapy or anything like that, correct?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Is all this relatively recent?
Yes,
Okay. Um, so putting that aside, his actual development is increasing though quite well. Is that accurate?
correct.
Okay. Have you been able to schedule the trauma assessment?
I have not. I am working on that referral. I was able to get a recommendation from TP's therapist yesterday that was a little bit more in depth. So I can refer him and complete and schedule that trauma assessment.
Who is the current therapist?
Is Nate Rika through Tahoma Counseling?
You know how to spell the last name?
I believe it's Reicha.
And has Nate provided any reports to you, anything in writing to you at all?
The only written report is that recommendation that I received yesterday. I can forward it to you if you would like.
Okay. Can you ask Mr. Rika to provide reports or at least a report for each upcoming hearing?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Um, let's talk about visitation. Mr. Wu is now out of the jail and he began visitation, correct?
Correct.
All right. When did those visits start?
Those visits started the first week of, I believe, March 10th.
Okay. And he has a parenting time coach, I guess, for lack of a better word, correct?
Correct.
Um, the reports that I've read, those are a little bit dated now, indicated that he had attended, I think, 13 out of 14. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Is there an updated figure for that? Is he still attending all of them?
From my knowledge, he's only missed one, and that was during the first 2 weeks. Other than that, he's been consistent in attending his visits.
Okay. And my understanding is that because of the consistency and the way that they went, he was allowed to start having community visits. Is that accurate?
Correct.
So can you summarize the agency and community visits and how often they occur?
Right now, they're occurring about once a week, and they typically occur on Thursdays. Mr. Wu has been pretty consistent in that, and do remember noting in that PTS report that Mr. Wu had noted to TP prior to being released that he would take him to McDonald's, and he did uphold that promise. So he has been kind of being consistent in that. And he's been observed utilizing those discipline tools that he's been learning, as well as seeing that TP's caregiver gives to TP, and he's just been overall consistent and being overall communicative with the PTS worker and working well with her.
Okay. So it sounds like the visits are appropriate. I did notice one thing that they want to, and probably have spoken with him about, but to try to correct. Do you recall what that was regarding future delayed punishment or threats of?
Yes, I do remember reading that. That is something that they are working with Mr. Wu on, is just that delayed punishment and not using TP's caregiver as a punishment or a discipline tactic instead of disciplining TP in that moment.
Okay. So Mr. Wu, is it accurate to say he's doing well, but has some work to do moving forward?
Correct.
Okay. That kind of wraps up, I think, TP. Is there anything else you want to mention regarding TP?
None at this time.
Well, let me ask you this. Are there any concerns that TP's acting out have to do with the resumption of in-person parenting time with Mr. Wu?
So in-person parenting times will have an impact on children regardless. So I do think some of those behaviors are coming from that, but the specific behaviors that I've spoken about, I do not believe is specifically in regard to starting those in-person visits up again.
Okay, and TP is potty trained now, correct?
Correct.
The report I read says he's not had any regression in that. Is that still accurate?
Yes.
All right. Do you know whether or not TP has a hard time settling down and getting back into a routine at his caregiver's house after visits?
He does. His behaviors are very oppositional or defiant. He will not listen to his caregiver. And I do know that his caregivers noted some issues in sleeping at night, where he'll wake up multiple times throughout the night and either cry or just kind of wake up and walk around his room.
And is that being addressed with his counselor?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else with respect to TP?
No.
All right, then let's move on to Mr. Wu. We've kind of covered the visits. What else would you like us to know with respect to Mr. Wu's progress?
So Mr. Wu is still working on getting a full-time permanent position, a job. He is currently picking up temporary shifts from a specific app that he finds different shifts at different times. So he has been picking up some work. However, it's not permanent. He has had multiple job interviews. However, those have not come to provide him an actual permanent position. He's a little concerned with his charge and just the fact that it seems to be a barrier. With that respect, I have kind of put him in contact with a person named Cole Williams, who is an extra support, who is able to help Mr. Wu with employment, getting that resume sorted out, and just making sure that Mr. Wu has appropriate supports in place so that he can be successful.
Where is Mr. Wu living right now? Is he still at the Motel 6?
He's currently still at the Motel 6, yes.
Have you made any housing referrals for him?
I have not. I can look into Section 8. However, I am concerned just with the wait list on that. And however, I have given Mr. Wu some resources on just housing that he can look into when he does get a permanent job and permanent income, as there is some subsidized housing that is just lesser rent that he can apply for.
Does Mr. Wu have any income at all right now other than the temporary work?
Just the temporary work, to my knowledge.
And how have you gone over a budget with him?
I have not recently gone over budget with him. That is my task for next month. I do know I recently asked him how much he did earn just over the last couple days, and he did note he earned close to $1,000 since April 13th due to those extra shifts he was taking. And I do know that his weekly rent is about $300 as well.
Okay. Have you been able to verify the rent or any income at all?
I have not been able to verify Mr. Wu has provided me pictures of just those shifts that he does take, and he has shown me the amount yesterday on how much he earned. But the rent, I have not been able to verify.
All right. I saw in the report that he's been referred for a trauma-informed parenting class. Is that correct?
Yes.
All
I
right.
did ask Mr.
ahead.
Wu, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I did ask Mr. Wu if he would be willing to attend a parenting after trauma class. However, right now he stated he would prefer to do the next round of classes just due to wanting to find permanent employment right now and then be able to focus on that afterwards.
When are those classes?
Those classes are Tuesdays for about 8 weeks. And so this set of class is going to start next week and be for about 8 weeks.
So every Tuesday for 8 weeks?
Correct.
What time of day?
It's in the evening, about 6 p.m.
Okay. Wouldn't he be able to look for work and do interviews during the daytime and still attend those classes?
Yes.
Did you discuss that with him?
I can discuss it with him again and see what he would prefer. I have encouraged him to look into it. It does sound like he wants to do it. He just is a little concerned about his employment.
Okay. Does he have transportation?
He generally takes the bus, or he does have a friend that allows him to borrow his car from time to time.
So he does have a valid license?
I will need to double check with Mr. Wu on that valid license. I do know that he showed me his license. I'm just not sure if it has a valid date on it.
Okay. I noticed that he's admitted to some use of marijuana. Do you know, is he being tested for that at all? Is that part of his treatment plan that he not be allowed to use marijuana?
He's currently not getting tested for it right now, and I do know I've spoken to him about just that usage, as that was a problem prior to him being incarcerated. I do not believe he's been using marijuana at this time.
Have you made a substance abuse referral at all?
No.
Is that something you can do or think is necessary?
I do not think it's necessary. From what I've seen, Mr. Wu does not have. I do know that his psychological noted issues with his usage of marijuana, but right now I don't see any problems with it. I can continue to talk to Mr. Wu about his usage and see if there's something that I do need to refer for.
Would you be willing to test him in the meantime before we do an actual assessment to make sure that he's not using? For the reason that we certainly don't want him using during parenting times, and especially if reunification were to occur.
If you believe that that is something
If the
that can
court
be,
orders it.
if the court orders it, yes.
Okay. Um, any other updates with respect to Mr. Wu at this point?
The only other update is I am working with Mr. Wu to begin counseling. I know that there had been some issues with understanding what type of Medicaid he had, so I was unable to refer him completely. However, I have sorted out the type of Medicaid and will be in contact with Mr. Wu on just kind of getting him sorted out with some counseling at Cherry Health.
So he needs Medicaid in order to start counseling?
I just wanted to make sure I knew so I could refer him completely and so that his insurance can cover the counseling costs.
Does he have any insurance at all right now?
Yes, he has straight Medicaid.
Okay. Oh, so are you trying to help him find somebody that takes the straight Medicaid?
Yes,
All right. Have you found anybody at all?
yes, Cherry Health.
Oh, very good. Have you or he, have they communicated with each other? Have you been able to set up a meeting?
I did tell Mr. Wu yesterday about Cherry Health, and I will be sending him the information as they do have walk-in hours so he can go up there and complete intake and complete the necessary documents.
All right. Do you expect him to do that within the next week or so?
Yes.
Very good. Anything else with respect to Mr. Wu?
No.
All right. Have you had any contact with the mother in this case? The reports indicate that you have not, but has anything changed?
Nothing has changed in my communication with Ms. Pinnock. I do know, however, that TP's caregiver does have communication with Ms. Pinnock, where TP does have some phone calls with her every once in a while. And Ms. Pinnock appears to mainly just communicate with TP's caregiver.
And that's been occurring for at least the last couple report periods, correct?
Correct.
And if my recollection is correct, Ms. Wu supervises those and makes sure that nothing inappropriate is going on, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And to date, there's been no inappropriate conversations, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. What are your recommendations today?
It is respectfully recommended that TP remain a temporary court ward, that TP remains placed in his out-of-home relative placement, that Mr. Wu comply with his parent agency treatment plan, that visits between Mr. Wu and TP be at the agency's discretion, and that a review hearing be held in 90 days.
So I want to make sure I get this right. Are you asking for parenting time to be potentially unsupervised at your agency's discretion?
In the future, right now, we are continuing with supervised and working to expand his visits. We're not there at this time, but that is something that when we are able to, we will be able to start unsupervised with him.
Okay. Oh, I believe today's a permanency planning hearing. So are you recommending termination of parental rights at this time? Okay. Are you recommending a return home at this time? Okay. And is TP at his current caregiver's location where he's been for a long time? Is he receiving the appropriate level of care and activities that is recommended by the state at this point?
Yes,
All right. And he's, of course, developmentally appropriate in age and mental health at this point as well, correct?
correct.
All right. Thank you. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Great, thank you. Ms. Laurie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Rinaldi. Mr. Wu also has gotten food stamps set up, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so Medicaid is set, food stamps are set, and he's one of his immediate goals is more, I guess, long-term employment, correct?
Correct.
Sounds like that's kind of his best way to also obtain more permanent housing.
Correct.
All right. But in the meantime, he has been utilizing whatever he can, which right now is an app that he's showing you, and he's able to pick up temporary shift jobs.
Correct.
All right. He is participating in all the referrals. It sounds like the only referral that you've made was just the trauma-informed parenting, and he had just kind of suggested, since he has a lot on his plate, if he could do the next session. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right. Do you think if the agency told him, I need you to do this right now, this is vitally important, he would do it right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is the agency comfortable with him pushing off in the next 8-week session, or would you like him to try and do that on the Thursday or Tuesday evenings?
I do know right now Mr. Wu is working with a PTS worker to work on his parenting skills and just kind of learning different skills and working on goals. So I do feel that parenting side of aspect is being worked on. Of course, I do feel it is still necessary for that parenting after trauma to be completed. However, if Mr. Wu is right now just not able to due to focusing on his employment and just not able to overall, I do not have any concerns with him moving it to the next session just because he is working on his parenting skills.
Okay, great. And that's kind of the hands-on service in place to address parenting skills, correct?
Correct.
Obviously, trauma after parenting is very important, but this is kind of the hands-on parenting referral to address that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And in reading that report, it looks like he's made substantial progress, at least on one of his goals, and he's making partial progress on the rest of the goals, especially as it relates to discipline and techniques in that regard. Is that your understanding?
Correct.
Okay. So the parenting time specialist will continue to provide these kind of quarterly reports.
Correct.
And how long is that program?
That program is about, I believe, 8-ish weeks. It might be a little bit more, just depending on what Mr. Wu requires. Of course, the PTS worker does communicate with me quite regularly, and if she starts to feel that he can be discharged, she will communicate that with me and submit a closing report to court.
Okay. All right. And did the parenting time specialist report the bond that she's observed between Mr. Wu and his son?
Yes.
All right. And how is that described?
That's described as very strong. From my own observations, TP and Mr. Wu do have quite a good bond, just from their wanting to be around each other, them snuggling on the couch, the hugs, and just kind of running up to see Mr. Wu. And I believe that's also noted in the PTS report.
Okay, great. And just going over the other areas in his treatment plan, it sounds like he can move forward with this new referral to Cherry Health to look at implementing counseling as well. And you indicated you haven't observed any specific concerns in regards to any marijuana use.
Correct.
All right. You've been to the hotel as well to observe that?
Yes.
All right, and at least for right now, it's a appropriate place for him to live for himself, at least.
Correct.
All right. And that's been kind of a stable place. He's not jumping around from hotels. He's been maintaining one placement, correct?
Correct.
All right. Has Mr. Wu been invited also to attend any appointments for TP?
Not at this time. I do know that is part of the PTS goals. And I will be starting to kind of implement that and work towards including Mr. Wu on those appointments.
Okay, great. But he is provided updates, at least as far as the ABA, and he was updated on TP testing out of the early childhood program.
Correct.
Okay, great. Do you feel like Mr. Wu's been essentially hitting the ground running as best he can given his long incarceration?
I do believe so, and I do think he has shown that motivation. The first day he was released, the first thing he did was come to the agency, talk to me, grab a couple things, and give me a game plan of what he wanted to do. So I do feel like he has hit the ground running. Of course, there have been barriers just with that charge and just finding something that's appropriate for him and that's willing to kind of take in that abuse charge.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yep. And you can work out a budget with him as well, just with what he has right now and hopefully what he might need to secure an employment.
Correct.
Okay. And he's cooperated with Mr. Williams. It sounds like that was successful and helpful for him as well.
Correct.
All right. Those are the only questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Newhouse.
Questions, thank you.
Any follow-up, Mr. Simkins?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Laurie, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Newhouse, any
Your Honor.
witnesses? Okay, statements, Mr. Simkins.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've met with TP and his caregiver. Things are going very well there. I was a little surprised to hear about these new reports of acting out. Hopefully those can be, looked into on a deeper level through the assessment and just through counseling itself. I commend Mr. Wu on the job he's done since being released. The only concern I really have at this point is, outside of, yes, he's got to get housing, employment, that kind of thing, would be marijuana use. It's been an issue in the past, and he's admitting to using to help him sleep and for pain. But I believe most courts want to see parents drug-free and alcohol-free for them to be completely reunified. In other words, have their child returned home to them. So I don't think it's out of line to ask the court to order random testing in this case. I agree. I don't think we need a full-on assessment done unless he continues to test positive and it becomes something that, he can't stop. Other than that, I think the recommendations are appropriate, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Laurie.
Yes, thank you. Well, I also am very impressed with Mr. Wu. He was one of my most impressive clients while he was incarcerated. And so I'm happy that he's continued to put that hard work in now that he has a little bit more resources. I know the first time he sent me a text, he's like, this is great, we can communicate. So we've been able to kind of share information and hopefully kind of continue to build on the progress that he's doing. I think he's very realistic. He's trying to do what he can to gain employment because that's going to be the key to transportation, to housing, to a lot of things, and that's kind of one of the biggest barriers right now with his criminal conviction. So, but in the meantime, I think he's taking the work that he can get. He's taking any shifts that he can and doing the best that he can to kind of stabilize so he can participate in all these services. I certainly think will do whatever the agency asks. And I think if trauma-informed parenting right now is what they need him to do, he would do it. If he can put it off and he can focus on some of these other things, I think that's great. But continues to be willing to do whatever he needs to do to reunify with his son. I I guess as far as the drug screens, I don't see that as being a barrier. The agency hasn't had any concerns about that. He's motivated. He's doing what he needs to do. The reports from the parenting time specialists are really, I think that the parenting times are going great, and he's very bonded and just kind of working through the discipline issues with his son. But open to feedback and so forth. So I'm not sure that that's necessary. I'm not saying that he wouldn't do it. I'm sure he will do whatever the agency believes is necessary, but I just don't, I don't know that that needs to be court ordered. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Newhouse.
No statement, thank you.
All right, thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute. That returning this child today to a parent would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being. That the child should not be returned to a parent today, but that the agency should not initiate proceedings to terminate parental rights because Mr. Wu was just recently released from incarceration, is working hard on his plan, his treatment plan. That reasonable efforts have been made to preserve and reunify the family, make it possible for this child to safely return home. In accordance with the statute, progress towards alleviating or mitigating the conditions that cause this child to be placed to remain in temporary foster care has not been made by either parent. Again, that just means I can't return the child home to you today, Mr. Wu. That's not ignoring the progress that you're making. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate, is meeting that child's individual needs. That the needs of the child can be met in a foster family home. That reasonable efforts have been made to finalize the court-approved permanency plan of return to a parent. That permanency plan continues to be appropriate. That the foster home has followed the reasonable and prudent parenting standard, and this child has had regular opportunities to engage in age or developmentally appropriate activities. The court orders that TP continue in the protective and temporary custody of the court, continue placement with the Department for Care and Supervision, that the adjudicated respondents comply with and benefit from the case service plan, that parents sign all necessary releases, that parenting time of Ms. Pennock is to be supervised until further order of the court. Parenting time of Mr. Wu is at the discretion of the agency to allow unsupervised or supervised parenting time by its designee. Continue the attorneys in this matter. I am not going to order drug testing at this time. I will rely on the agency to determine whether or not it appears to be interfering with his parenting, which is, I believe, much like alcohol. There has to be evidence that it's interfering with his parenting in order for the court to order that he not use. Having said that, though, I do want to warn Mr. Wu that this could ultimately be an issue if it does turn up that you're using during parenting time. And of course, with everything else going on in your life, you're better off not spending that money or having that distraction. So let's see. And Ms. Gibson, do we have a date for our next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, July 22 at 9 o'clock.
Any conflicts with that date or time?
None for me, Your Honor.
Not for me.
That should work, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Wu, I'm really glad to hear that you have hit the ground running, that you're doing everything you can. And I didn't address this in my order, but just for everybody's information, I'm not too concerned about the parenting class being started immediately, since services are being provided, more hands-on services are being provided right now to assist with parenting. So I don't disagree that the focus really needs to be on getting that job.
I appreciate it. And if I could say real quick, after today, I do believe I will have a third shift full-time job.
All right, congratulations.
I'm going there actually within the hour, and I'm going to talk to them. So hopefully everything goes to plan, and I'll have a full-time job. So
all right, that'd be wonderful. That'll open so many doors and resolve so many issues here. So congratulations. All right, is there